My name's Jeanne Collin. I'm 24, soon to be 25. I trained in agronomy and I'm a dairy farmer. I don't think I will vote because we're always let down.
On the eve of the European elections, the anger of Belgian farmers is palpable. Jeanne has spent the last decade tending to over 100 cows on her family farm.
I love what I do, and I don't think you need a reason to love what you do. As you can see from earlier, I enjoy being with my cows, caring for each one, knowing that we're feeding people. So we have an important role in society. And personally, it helps me get out of bed every morning, knowing that what I'm doing has meaning.
But there are some drawbacks to this rewarding career. Like the mounds of paperwork she has to spend hours on each evening.
Sometimes I feel like an administrative employee, always dealing with paperwork, and I admit that sometimes my brain just gives out and I get a bit fed up. At the same time, if I then get a decent price for my milk, I'll do the paperwork. Right now, we feel like we've got a mountain of extra work with all this admin. We don't earn any more for it. We're not paid what we're worth.
The Common Agricultural Policy, or CAP, requires farmers to file documents certifying they comply with environmental rules in order to receive financial aid. A burdensome task for Jeanne, who is to become co-owner of the farm.
I can't see myself explaining to the older generation that we failed, that we didn't make it. It's not going to be easy. We want to do our job. We love it. We're passionate about it. And we have all the tools we need to do it. But there are certain things that get in the way and prevent us from doing it properly. That's what's hard when you listen to politicians. It's easy for them to make speeches, but they're not the ones making the sacrifices. Me and my partner, we live for this. We make a living from this, and we've got nothing else.
Jeanne is not the only farmer who has lost hope.
We dream that politicians will solve our problem when they created the problem 40 years ago through their incompetence. We're asking the same people to solve a problem they themselves created. As far as I'm concerned, we're heading straight for the wall. It's not possible to go on like this.
In early 2024, these Belgian farmers protested against the EU's agricultural policy and are still waiting for sufficient answers to their demands.
We left not really knowing what was going to happen. We realized there was a bunch of us.
The meeting of European ministers was right there, and I think we were all over Brussels. Our objective was to show that we were there and we weren't messing around.
They may have lost faith in politicians, but they find support from the general population.
4 litres de lait?
Thanks to this shop she set up on her farm, Jeanne is in direct contact with her customers.
Having the store means being in contact with people, and it's a bit of a morale booster too, because when people come and compliment you on your products, well, there's nothing better. You tell yourself you've achieved something.
The people, I think, back the farmers.
Jeanne shared the difficulties for farmers on social media. We follow and support her.
It's true that it can be easier to go to the big supermarkets, but we prefer to come here. It's a bit friendlier too.
To say we support them without taking action is a bit short-sighted, so here we are, we come and support them.
Un tout grand merci, bonne journée. Bonjour.
With this European election, Jeanne expects concrete answers from politicians.
At the moment, I think of the European Union with disgust, because we exist, we're part of the European economy, and yet we're not seen for our true value in Europe. What would make me vote is if some decisions were voted on and made official. Then maybe I'd change my mind. But until then, as long as there's nothing signed, nothing voted, as long as I don't see anything happening here on the farm, well then I don't want to.
J'ai pas envie.
In April, MEPs revised the cap to ease the amount of paperwork, but farmers have continued their protests in the lead up to the vote.